I became executive director of Planet Ant in 2017. I've been involved in this organization in some capacity most of my life, but the organization actually started back in 1993 as a coffee shop. If you're familiar with our Ant Hall location, our current main headquarters of operation, the purple building across the street is actually our original space. So that was a coffee shop from 1993 until 1995. It was the home base for I believe it was a U of D student film from 1995 to 1996. As a fundraiser for said student film, they decided to do a play in that space in, I believe it was Halloween 1996. Pre-COVID, we started this expansion project into Ant Hall, into multiple stages and multiple venues, with a much wider scope as far as artistic disciplines that have a presence on our stages. Pre-2017, we were essentially running a couple improv shows a week and then 6 to 8 scripted shows as our theatrical season in the Black Box Theater, our original space. 2017, we opened this expansion space with the goal of broadening our programming by a lot. We had a 5-year goal that included pay off the building and included, kind of cement our way back into live music, back into things, stand-up comedy, drag, burlesque, film, and the irony of COVID is February 2020 was the first month since setting off on this expansion project here at Planet Ant that we finally hit all of our revenue numbers. We hit the right, we had our expenses were right, audiences were good, things were going great, and it's February 2020 and we're like, all we gotta do is just keep doing what we're doing. And then COVID-19 happens. And it was very, very difficult because we're an organization these days rooted in essentially dispersing the risk of live performance, if that makes sense. These days, program 15 to 20 shows across 3 stages a week, and that is a lot of individual performances. And the benefit to that model is nothing can fail and blow up the entire thing, right? If you're an organization that relies on a couple shows a year, if one of them doesn't go well, then all of a sudden you are struggling. So COVID happens. We end up being closed for 18 months. I think about 15 or 16 of those months are directly because of COVID. When we reopened, I think it was August 28th, 2021, those first 6 months were very hard. We learned a lot about consistency. We learned a lot about, I guess, maybe the field of dreams mentality of like, if you build it, they will come, maybe. Trusting our community, listening to our community, continue to program consistently, lean into the folks who are here. As a community-based nonprofit, it's very important to realize that the artists who are actually here doing the work, they should have a say, they should have ownership, they should be valued.